You know, I noticed something in the black community, and I know they do it for basically entertainment purposes, because black people like to be entertained more than they actually like to learn shit. So a lot of these Negroes love being entertained instead of actually learning shit. My prime example of this shit of them platforming Charleston White. And a lot of you all may think Charleston White making sense with the shit he said. Yeah, it's come off as making sense when you talk about the problems in the black community pertaining to high crime rates, the embracing of living in poverty. Yes, that's all the systems that are put in place, the prolonged exposure to poverty, the lack of resources, the lack of any kind of thing that'll help young black men develop, so you'll have men to protect and build for the community. And if we all know, if you destroy the men in that community, you don't have nothing, because the women do not build, the women do not protect. The women's job is there to nurture. So when you got a whole bunch of women that's basically in a community, they're not gonna build the community. They're not gonna nurture the community. Only thing they not gonna nurture the community because they was told that they had to be strong and independent. That's why you have a lot of the problems in the black community now. That is why black people are at the bottom. So when you just think that it's out of the, like Charleston White, a lot of these people will talk about the ills and the problems of the black community without pointing out the root cause of the problem. I said this, you got brothers like Sarge Willie Pete broke this down as well, and he said more eloquent than me. When you look at almost 100 years, 200 years of Jim Crow, convict lynching, eminent domain, destruction of thriving black communities such as Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, Elaine, Arkansas, Slocum, Texas, Wilmington, North Carolina, East St. Louis, Rosewood, Florida, and many other towns that I haven't mentioned that they made into lakes and shit. All this shit is systematic destruction and the removal of any thriving black communities, because white people didn't want to have to deal with black people coming out of slavery, basically creating their own thriving black communities, because the white people didn't want them in their community. So the black people created their own thriving communities and did quite well. And a certain group of people didn't like that. They didn't like that these black people were doing well. So they found reasons to remove and destroy those thriving black communities. So what they created was they had to create the black community that y'all see today that's been exposed to prolonged exposure to poverty. And then you got white people running around here talking about, well, that's how intrinsically how they are. No, motherfuckers. That's them, the niggas you see tapping on your window with the blinky telling you to get out your car at nighttime. Them are the gremlins y'all white people created. Them are the monsters y'all white people created. Y'all deserve to get the black people y'all see. The only fucked up thing is they cannibalizing each other. But no, them the monsters y'all helped to create due to all y'all systematic things to try to destroy us. It's the community you have, including with feminism and all that. What that did, that destroyed black women and made them single mamas. And y'all wonder why black women are looked down upon globally around the world, and that's due to poverty. When you got women growing up in poverty, any people growing up in poverty, what's going to happen? The boys going to turn to crime, women going to turn into whores. And now you're going to see it in a few years under Trump. If he ain't able to do this, now you're going to see the same thing happen to white people, because when you have people exposed to poverty, black people are the canaries in the coal mine. And they don't want to admit that. Like I told Charleston White, I said, how you gonna talk about the problem and then it's not gonna talk about the root cause of the problem? You just gonna talk, well, they this and that, like they're intrinsically, like black people intrinsically like that. No, they're not intrinsically like that. Before that, you had high black marriage rates in the black community. We had the highest marriage rate of any people coming out of slavery. We was told that they didn't want us to have us in our community, so we created our own thriving communities. Black men got together and built their own thriving communities, had our own stores, had our own schools, had our own everything, because we had to. But them folks didn't like that shit, so they destroyed them. Every time we did something, white people came and destroyed it, redlined us, gerrymandered us, COINTELPRO, pro-eminent domain, the 55 Highway Act, the destruction of black communities, the assassination of leaders, all this shit that you see in the black community today. And then in place, they put bootlicking ass Negroes, liberal Negroes in the black community that keep black people in poverty. So this shit is a cause and effect. This shit is not out the fucking void. And that's why I'm getting tired when you got people like him, Charles White, that y'all give a fucking platform to, that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.